Hi everyone, this is Brandy Shampoo with Exploring Expression. We make learning that. Let me start that again. Hi, my name is Brandy Shampoo with Exploring Expression. I help parents and educators and caregivers become your own best expression so that you can in turn make learning fun, easy, and natural, not just for your children, but for yourself as well, because you deserve it. So, welcome to Sunday at 7. It's Sunday night, 7 o'clock, and we are here with another topic, and this one is really close to my heart. So today, what I'm going to talk about is back to school. Is back to school, and I'm going to share some things about how we celebrate and how we recognize back to school, and especially in the um, in the confines and in the idea of living a learning lifestyle. So here's a question. If you are living a learning lifestyle, what does back to school mean? Or inversely, there's so many. What does back to school mean in these days and times? There are so many ideas and so much understanding of what school is and what school means that going back to school could be different for your children and for your neighbor's children. But it's still something to be celebrated and something to be excited about. I mean, it's back to school time. So that's what we're going to talk about today. But as you come in, give me a thumbs up or let me know that you're here. Say hello. If you're watching this on replay, make sure to hashtag replay, and so that I know you're here and so that I can connect with you, because we're all about building connections and building relationships here. So, back to school. We are currently homeschooled, and I've homeschooled my kids off and on for years. However, they haven't always been homeschooled. Um, all types of school are important and are useful and have their benefits and have their negative sides. And homeschool is just um, the one path to your purpose, right? It's just it's one path to get to where you want to go. If you are living a learning lifestyle, whatever type of school you're going to, that's the right one. It's what works for your family. So we also, my boys and I, we also homeschool year round, which means all through the summer, we're learning because that's our lifestyle. We're learning every day. Learn something new every day is one of the things I talk about constantly. We should always strive to learn something new. And so, given that, how do I recognize and how do I make back to school or the first day of school something special and something magical? Okay. How do you do that if you're homeschooled? And how do you do that if this year's school, with COVID, even children who historically have been going to public school may not be? Maybe you're going to online school. Maybe you're doing distance education. Maybe you're doing hybrid learning. How do you, as a parent, help your child to be excited? Because school should be exciting. How do we help our children to be excited about learning? Right? And I know the last couple of weeks I was talking about my book, 90 Days to Your Better Expression. And as we go through this, how we begin to develop this lifestyle of learning and of growth and of maturity and of exploration. Now we have to decide, how do we pass that to our children? Because we want to raise learners, not students. We want to raise learners, not students. And yet, dot, dot, dot. And yet it's back to school time. And it's exciting. And it should be. So how do we celebrate it? Number one. Remember, I always give things in counting, right? Number one, treat it as something that should be celebrated. Treat it as something that should be celebrated. Whether you're going back to school on August 3rd or September 3rd or whenever it is, whenever you start back and start something new, because let me put it like this. Back to school time in a learning lifestyle. We travel all the time. Think of all the places that you go in your day, and you get in your car and you drive somewhere. You drive to a store and you drive to the shops and you drive to here, right? So, our family, we love to travel and we put many miles on my car. And we go to lots of stores and we go to lots of bookstores. But this time on this trip, I said, we're going to go to a new store we haven't been before. To a new store we haven't been before. And we made it an event. What are we going to see at this new store we haven't been to before? How are we going to experience this new place we haven't gone before? And this is what back to school is all about. It's the start of a new chapter and a new adventure, not just for your children, but for you. Think of all the things that you're going to learn that you haven't learned before, that you didn't know before. This is how we take this first step into make it an event. Make it the start of a journey. Make it the start of a journey. So, one of the things I do for my boys as we start our journey is I say, what do you want to learn this year? What do you want to learn this year? And that's thing number 2. That's the second tip I would give you to make back to school exciting for your children. Ask them at the beginning of the year, what do you want to learn? What do you love? And have them write it down. Have them put it in writing or record it. Make a little video and ask them, what do you want to learn about? This does 2 things. 1, it helps you direct your learning lifestyle and the learning of your children towards the things that they love. And let me give you an example. My youngest son, Daniel, loves superheroes. I mean, Black Panther, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Captain America, Superman, The Flash, Shark Boy and Lava Girl. If they're super, The Incredibles. If they're super, he loves them. And so I asked him, I said, what do you want to learn this year? And he said, I want to be a superhero. And I said, all right, we're going to learn that. And then I went and I picked up this book, Superhero Science. And I started with this book as I started building his curriculum for our homeschool. And I said, how can I take what he loves and make it exciting? Because he loves it, right? And even if they're going to a regular brick and mortar school, or even if they're doing the distance learning through their school, you can have this idea. Ask your child, what do you want to learn? So that as they're looking for library books, or as they're looking for people to study in their social studies class, you can help guide them to their love, right? What if your child only wants Minecraft? My older son is Minecraft. So what did I do? I said, all right, I'm going to find a book. And we're going to start with Minecraft. And I know he has to learn this and he has to learn that. I know he's got to learn to write essays and he's got to learn math and he's got to learn science and social studies and all of the things that come with school. But this tells him at the beginning of the year, and this is what doing this tells your children, is that your opinion matters. And this is a new adventure of schooling. And I'm going to make sure your opinion's taken into consideration. It says, I see you. I see you And I see this grand adventure where you're getting ready to start. Remember back number one, make it an event. Back to school time is exciting. I see this exciting grand adventure of school you're getting ready to start. And I hear you. I know what you want to learn. And I'm going to help you do that. Right? Your children will care about what you care about. So tip number one, how do you make back to school a grand event for your children, an exciting time? Is to treat it like an exciting time, like a grand event. Tip number two, remember, is ask them. Ask them what they want to learn about. This gives them some ownership. This gives you a glimpse into where they are so that you can help them. And then number three, mark the date. Mark the date. You know, even for us, and like I said, we homeschool year round, so we're doing learning, you know, we're doing math and handwriting all the time. And we game school, and so we're playing game schooling constantly. Learning opportunities are happening everywhere. Even through all that, I say, that's the first day. That's the day the new school year starts. That's the day you're no longer a first grader, you're a second grader. That's the day you're no longer a ninth grader, you're a 10th grader. It's like your birthday, right? Treat it like your birthday. Back to school time is daunting enough. It's daunting enough. Especially these days when there's so much uncertainty, when there's so much unknowns about, am I going to be safe? Am I going to be healthy? Am I going to get the teachers I want? Am I going to learn the things that I want? Can we afford all the curriculum? How do I know what to teach them? How do I know if I can't teach them? How do I have the time to teach them? That we need to stop and recognize that this is something amazing. It's something amazing. It's saying we made it all the way through. We made it all the way through the last year, and we're back at a brand new beginning. It's a brand new beginning. And what's that phrase? The world is your oyster. The world is interesting. And our kids are sponges, and they're soaking it up, and they're just waiting to ingest everything that there is to know. If they view it, and if you view it as something worth doing. Something worth doing. Celebrate it with a new book. Celebrate it with a picture. I've seen, how many of those have you seen with the child holding up there? This is my first year, first grade, right? Snap a picture. Or get them, say, okay, I recognize this is a new beginning. Here's a book. Here's a notebook. Here's some pens to start your journey. It's such an exciting year. You know, and sometimes it's easy to forget in the midst of everything happening in the world around us, in the midst of pandemics and weather and unrest and everything else, that we live in a world that's beautiful. And we have the opportunity, our children have the opportunity to learn something new about it all over again. Every year, every August or September when school comes around again, look on it and go, here we go. Here we go. Our engines are revved. We're ready to jump into a new adventure and learn something we didn't know before. And experience something we didn't experience before. And meet people and learn about people we hadn't learned about before. and grow in ways we couldn't have even imagined before, because this is the start of a new adventure every year. That's what back to school is. Whether you're going back to homeschool, whether you're going back to online school or virtual school, whether you're going back to co-op, whether you're going back to private school, whether you're going back to brick and mortar public schools, the adventure is the same. How do you get from here to there? How do we get from here to the new store? We can walk, we can ride a bike, we can take a car, we can take a train, we can take a boat, we can take a plane. But the travel, the journey is the same. We're still going to get there. We're still going to get there. And what works for one child and what works for another child, it's a whole nother conversation. How do you make the choice between homeschool and between public school and between virtual school? And that's a family by family choice. And that's a child by child choice. I tell people my oldest daughter graduated from public school and she thrived there. And it was wonderful. It was a wonderful experience for her. It was a wonderful experience for me. I tried homeschool with her. She didn't take to it. Not every child does. Because it's about the child. It's about the child. My two boys, my oldest son, thrives and flourishes in homeschool in a way he couldn't do in public school. Same with my youngest son. My youngest son loves homeschool, but he loved public school. Because no matter what kind of school they were in, the learning and the learning lifestyle and the learning at home, the schooling at home occurred whether they went to school at home or went to school at public school. Because you're still their teacher. You're still their teacher. One of my good friends, Dr. Sheila Sapp, she has her book, The Learning Tree, is on the Exploring Expression website. So I encourage you to go and look at it. And it's all about this idea that you are your child's first teacher. You are your child's first teacher. You already know. And so if this is a brand new school you're homeschooling, you know your child. You know your child and you know how to do it. And if you struggle and if you have confusions and if you need help, call us. That's what we're here for. That's what we do here at Exploring Expression. We help you help yourself so that you can help your children. We help you help yourself so that you can help your children. Right? But if your child is going to public school, that doesn't take the burden of, not the burden, it doesn't take the privilege. It doesn't take the privilege of educating your children from your shoulders, because you are their first teacher and you are their last teacher. You. And you can do it. You can do it because you're on your way to being your very best expression. And it starts with, this is a new adventure. It's a new adventure. It's time for school to start. It's time for learning to begin. Whether you're just learning now or you've been learning all along, celebrate it. Celebrate it as something beautiful. And that's that. So, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to like it and share it. Turn your notifications on. Do all of those things to share this with someone you know. And until next time, we'll see you later.